Good day, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel Pertut, and welcome to another edition of Fighting Peaches. On this edition, we are featuring James Madison football graduate offensive lineman Pat McMurtrie as the Dukes prepare for the upcoming 2025 season. We were able to attend the Sun Belt Football Media Days earlier this summer in New Orleans and got to speak with him exclusively. Before we get to that, as always, follow everything that we do. Go to the mothership, to sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. Just head on to there and look us up under Sports Inquirer, Etienne Marcel Pursuit. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. As I mentioned earlier, we were able to speak exclusively with James Madison football graduate offensive lineman Pat McMurtrie as the Dukes prepare for the 2025 regular season. We spoke with him at the Sunbelt Media Days in New Orleans earlier this summer. Let's hear from Pat. Enjoy.
Offensive lineman for James Madison. We were just talking a little bit off air. Seventh collegiate year.
Yep.
How does that feel? I mean, you're a grown man, really, in this perspective. How are you? What is that like being a seventh year guy?
It's definitely interesting. It's a little bit of a weird feeling, but I think for me it was just a great opportunity, and it's like I said, it was a little weird like at first, but it's been great. I love the guys on the team, so it's been a cool opportunity.
Why come back for a seventh year? I mean, you're a graduate. I'm sure you're pretty advanced in your academics.
Yeah.
But what was the appeal to return?
So I knew I had the year because I had an injury in 2022, and it was something that was brought up last year, and I kind of just wanted to wait till after the season and figure out what I wanted to do. And once I sat and talked with Coach Chesney and with the coaches, they kind of we talked for a while and had some great conversations, and like I just loved my experience, so it just made the decision easy.
And last year, team was able to reach a good amount of wins, 9-4, won the bowl game. But what do you think is going to be that key? It's on the offensive end, just to make that next step and get to that conference championship level.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is just being it. You have to be able to execute. That's just how it goes. And for us, it's we definitely have a lot of great players with experience, but we got a lot of work to do. There's still a lot that we're installing and stuff like that. So I think for us, it's like I said, execution is a lot of it, and just being able to be able to put points on the board and do that and obviously and execute under pressure.
And offensively, just talking with Coach Alonzo Barnett, guy that you've obviously blocked for, is recovering from injury, and he's working his way back. Hopefully, be ready for your regular season opener. But what about the other quarterbacks that have been able to get that opportunity to show their talents? And you, as a senior upperclassman on the offensive line, how has that been trying to get them up to speed? Because they may see the field as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's very cool. It's and I think it's a good mix of when you look at that room of some older guys with some younger guys, but I think they've all done a great job. Especially in spring ball, you got to see all the QBs out there working every day, and just from what I've seen and just how they work, they're all great people, great players, and it's been pretty cool to kind of to see those guys work together.
Yeah, and what about that journey from Holy Cross, where you started your collegiate career, to James Madison? And obviously, I think it was a factor of Coach Loggins being moving over. But what's that? Not Coach Loggins. I apologize, Coach. Coach Chesney. Right.
Yeah.
Coach Chesney. I apologize.
All good.
Was that just a factor as well? You mentioned his time at Holy Cross and coming over, but what's that been like making that transition? Or now that you're fully done it.
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, I'm definitely very lucky. I think when you just look at college football nowadays, it's just crazy with the portal and stuff. And most of the time guys are playing for a few different coaches. That's just how it goes. But um, I've just been lucky. He recruited me out of high school, and I, obviously knew him before I got to Holy Cross. So I'm just fortunate. I've had a great relationship with him, and it was a no-brainer when the opportunity arose to come to JMU.
And we'll end with some fun questions here.
Mhm.
What's the favorite stadium that you've been able to play in, obviously besides James Madison?
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been some crazy atmospheres. App, App State was very cool. There was the videos with the snowballs, but I will say like their crowd was very loud and very into the game, so that was very cool. Um, I'm trying to think of some others.
We just asked for one. App State.
Yeah, I would say
State
that
works.
was like
App
a
State
cool
works.
one.
Favorite color, favorite uniform combination.
All black. When we go the black jersey, black pants, gold helmet. That to me is my favorite one for sure.
Okay. How do you prepare for a game, just pregame? And we've seen some viral stories of some players. I think particularly one from Iowa. I don't remember his name, but
Mhm.
he pretty much ate pretty much the entire. It seems like the entire restaurant before the game, and
Mhm.
just meals. Even at halftime, he's eating food. Like,
Yeah.
are you? Are you that extreme with it? Like you're eating so much, or
No. I'm like I'm pretty low key. I like pretty much wherever we get to, like at the stadium or whatever, I'll kind of go on my own. I kind of just like to be by myself, listen to some music, just kind of like the biggest thing for me is just stay relaxed because I think if you work yourself up too much, too early, it
kind of the
can
opposite of it?
exactly you don't want to do that. So I just kind of like try to like just chill out. I definitely do a lot of stuff, which is like foam rolling and stretching just to get my body ready. But like I said, I try to keep it pretty low key.
Okay. And lastly, what's been maybe the best coaching advice, or maybe something from a mentor that you've been told that you kind of try to carry with you as you just progress through football and life in general?
Yeah, I mean, I just think being around Coach Chesney a long time, and he says this a lot, but I do genuinely think it's true. And just talking with other great people I've gotten to meet, but he always kind of says how you do one thing is how you do everything, and I really do believe that that's true. And how it relates with us in football, I think he always talks about just you know, we're obviously football players, but if you can't handle the stuff off the field, your academics, your workload and all that stuff, taking care of your body, like at the end of the day, it's usually it won't translate. Maybe you get lucky, but most of the time it won't translate in the long term. So that's just something that he's always preached to us, and I really do believe that. It's just it's not just what you do on the football field, but just overall as a person. How you do and manage those little things. I think that is ends up being a big factor.
All right, thanks for your time and good luck this season.
Good luck.
And that was Pat McMurtrie, graduate offensive lineman for James Madison football. Looking forward to see how he and the Dukes perform this upcoming season. Thank you for listening and watching this latest edition of the Fighting Peaches. And as always, go to the mothership, to sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like and share our content to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and much more. Once again, this is Etienne Marceau, the Sports Inquirer. And until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.